This is the place where we will build up our building. So obviously that building will have some shape sooner or later. But what we are also interested in is how this building affects with its shadow the neighboring buildings and the other lands.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. Of course, we would also like to know how the surrounding buildings will affect our building. So for that, we somehow need to somehow sketch at least these building shapes here and turn them into buildings. Well, we could use the wall tool to build them up, but that's just like a cannon shot for this topic. And what we need to do is instead of that, I use the terrain, and there is the building volume.
Yes, that's something that I already mentioned. This would be the tool to create one solid body to represent the building, because for neighboring buildings or buildings for shadow analysis, you don't need to have elaborate structures. You just want to have the mass.
We only need to the bounding the surrounding structure, and also the roof inclination. But that's also not that much important to be exact. Well, in some areas it's important. In that case, you can use the same. But if it's not that much important, you can just quick sketch something as well. So it's good for both purposes. Now I will use a value like this, for example, rather regular building shape, and then I use the same for all sides. And for example, on this side, I just would like to use a vertical cut. For example, on this side, I use a vertical cut as well. So I just have a regular building model like this here, and when I click OK, it's over there. And the same thing I quickly repeat here, the same tool, building volume.
You just copy the footprint of the building.
Yeah, well, actually what I could do, I could actually simply select this one, move it around.
Provided that they are the same.
And then I can just simply, reshape it. So either way it works. I can just simply start with a default shape, or I can just customize the existing shape. So now I have two buildings, but as you can see, now again we have a problem with the positioning because we didn't know where they land. So they actually landed on the same plateau. That's the same level where all these landed.
That's because you elevated the project's base elevation to 134, I think. So all the buildings around are copying that value, right?
Yeah, so now the project 0 is at this level, which is fine. It's fine for these buildings as well by default, but when I would like to move them to the proper position, I need to know where this height is. There is a tool to ask for a certain elevation height of the terrain, but in this case it's much better and easier if you just simply select this model and you just move it until you see it touches the ground.
So just approximately.
And the same thing happens here. So I just elevate it to this point when it's just coming out.